Hi guys, and welcome to my channel where I talk about fantasy football. So you're going to get a Tuesday video with recaps and a Thursday video with my picks for the weekend. We are ending week 9, and I ended week 9 Sunday night because last night's game between the Patriots and the Jets, one team being... Now is when the garbage comes out. Jesus. I like the way they have to like dump the garbage like real loud. I'm glad they're like taking their time with the garbage. Life's gonna bring you weird shit sometimes. I think we're good. I attempted to watch last night's game between the Patriots and the Jets. One team led by a complete head case with a lot of talent, and the other team led by Joe Flacco's corpse. Nobody's told the NFL that he died when Lamar Jackson took over for him on the Ravens. And now people just keep employing his corpse. So that was boring AF. I've never been less interested in a game going into overtime. Today I'm going to be writing down my fantasy wins and losses. I'm going to be talking about my surprises for the weekend. I'm going to give our moment of vindication, and I am going to let you know what fantasy player I am beefing with this week. So first, personal fantasy wins and losses. Dexter Williams was bad. Dwelly, 8.2 points. I'll take it. Jordan Reed played, but he still got the ball. Now, on to the pick of the week. Danny Amendola. Man, Stafford started. When Chase Daniels went in, I was just like, man, you can't script this. I know, because I tried. I thought for sure we were going to be praising Danny Amendola, but he didn't get his touchdown pass. He didn't get his Hail Mary, but top 14 points. So I'm going to call that a win. He actually got the most yards and the most receptions out of any of the other receivers. I was looking over my lineups, tinkering Sunday morning, which I should know better. And I looked at my lineups and I actually thought to myself, you know what, Lauren? You have too many shares of Dalvin Cook. You can't have too many shares of Dalvin Cook. I had him and Cap on one lineup. That honestly, the only person that did poorly on it was Derrick Henry, who I replaced Dalvin Cook with. Also, I played Brandon Cooks. I learned my lesson with Devontae Adams that if this team has previously allowed this wide receiver to score a bunch of points, it's probably going to happen again. You'll notice AB is bad. 3 receptions, and really Tampa Bay is just kind of a mess. I love that the argument that they couldn't believe how fit he was. There are a million fit people out there. Have you looked at Instagram? But they don't have the skills. And I don't know where the problem's happening on that team, but I also don't care. Because that game really epitomized the good versus evil aspect of every team versus the Bucs. They are like truly evil. First of all, they pulled one of the most divisive quarterbacks of all time. Gronk came out of his fake death to play. They left Edelman dying on the Patriots. Brady couldn't find a spot for him. They are so evil that they took Ndamukong Suh. Ndamukong Suh has been a repeat violator of all sorts of safety shit. He has had multiple fines, not just penalties, fines and suspensions. And all we heard off season about was how good they were going to be. They kind of suck. At halftime of the New Orleans Saints Bucs game, one of the announcers said that, well, in 2013, we saw Tom Brady come back from a 24-point deficit against the Broncos, which, I didn't need that flashback. I know, I had to get up at 3 a.m. the next day. I went to bed at halftime. Second of all, he was down 31 points, which isn't exactly 24. I don't know what math you use. And I would also say that this statistic isn't even relevant because, so I would argue Bill Belichick was down 24 points. Most of my surprises for this weekend are actually all at quarterback. Jake Luton for the Jags. Competent. Shocker. I guess this isn't technically a quarterback thing, but how was Dallas up for 3 quarters against the undefeated Steelers? I'd say this Gilbert guy is competent, which he kind of appears to be, but he didn't really do much. And Zeke didn't look that great either. I just literally was floored at this game. And then halftime, this being my third surprise, was Big Ben able to actively limp and throw the ball. I mean, at one point he just like stopped and was just like, no, no, no. And then he's just like literally like dragging his left leg. Then Tony Romo, the second announcer, said to him, well, how will a left knee injury affect his throw? And Tony's like, well, I don't know. Is it on the inside or the outside? Well, I don't know, Tony. We're watching the game the same way you are. How about you not be a dick and just answer the question like a commentator and not like a doctor? My moment of vindication for the weekend. It's kind of a sad one, but it ends happy. Alex Smith. It's all salute to service stuff this weekend, so they were talking about how he did a lot of recovery with a military hospital because some of his injuries and his recovery actually resembled some war injuries, which is terrifying. But so they're talking about him all pregame, and then Kyle Allen gets hurt, which is, I'm not smiling because Kyle Allen gets hurt, but it just made me so happy to see Alex Smith go in, and they were down by 3 points, and you're like, he's gonna do it. And then he got the interception. But then they get the ball back, and you're like, okay, it's still only 3 points. Like a minute 57 left or something like that. He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. And then he threw another interception. My heart literally hurt physically for him. That killed me. But he is going to be the starting quarterback, so I think with a little more time out there, it'll just, I don't know if he'll actually get back to his old self. I'd like to think he will, but it'll just be really nice to see him out there. I have a long list of players that I just don't play because I end up with beef with them over time. T.Y. Hilton is a big one for me. Aaron Rodgers in general is a big one for me, though this year he's certainly been a little more consistent for me. I played D-Hop. D-Hop got like no points for him. I got like 6 points. My fantasy beef is with Kyler Murray. Literally, I understand Christian Kirk is back and he's healthy. Fine, fair enough. But the list of receivers, fine, throw it more to Christian Kirk. Give him more touchdowns. I don't care. 6 points out of D-Hop? Kyler, I don't care what the defense is doing. The D-Hop is always open. Larry Fitz had more fantasy points than D-Hop. 3 targets? I didn't spend $8,200 of my DraftKings salary to get 3 targets. I understand that he still gets paid for this game, but you know what? I don't. So Kyler Murray, we be beefin'. Well, guys, I hope you liked my new format for my Tuesday video. If you know anyone that could use some fantasy football advice, or maybe at least can relate to some fantasy football beef, feel free to share. Really much appreciate it. As always, like and subscribe. And remember, forget the stats. Play with your heart. May the fantasy gods be with you all.